Core Programming Thinking, Common Beginner Mistakes Developers Repeat. Welcome. In this session, we will discuss some of the most common mistakes that beginner developers repeat again and again. Making mistakes is a normal part of learning programming. In fact, every experienced developer has made these same mistakes at some point. The goal is not to avoid all mistakes. The goal is to recognize them early and develop better habits. Let's begin. Mistake number 1. Jumping into coding without understanding the problem. Many beginners receive a problem and immediately start typing code. They focus on syntax before understanding what needs to be solved. Imagine someone asks you to build a calculator. Instead of understanding the requirements, you start creating classes, functions, and user interfaces right away. This often leads to confusion and unnecessary rewrites. A better approach is to first ask, what is the input? What is the expected output? What are the rules? What are the edge cases? Professional developers spend significant time understanding the problem before writing code. Remember, think first, code second. Mistake number 2, try to memorize everything. Many beginners believe they must remember every method, every library function, and every syntax rule. This creates unnecessary stress. Even senior developers regularly use documentation, search engines, and official references. Programming is not a memory competition. What matters is understanding concepts. If you understand loops, conditions, functions, objects, and data structures, you can always look up specific syntax later. Focus on understanding principles rather than memorizing details. Mistake number 3, ignoring error messages. A beginner sees a red error message and immediately panics. They copy and paste random code from the internet, hoping the error disappears. This habit slows learning dramatically. Error messages are actually helpful. They tell you what a problem occurred, what kind of problem occurred. Sometimes they even suggest a solution. Instead of ignoring errors, read them carefully. Ask yourself, which file caused the error? Which line caused the error? What is the program trying to tell me? Developers who learn to read error messages become much faster problem solvers. Mistake number 4, copying code without understanding it. The internet provides millions of code examples. This is helpful, but blindly copying code can be dangerous. Suppose you find a solution online. Before using it, ask, what does each line do? Why does it work? Can I explain it to someone else? If you cannot explain the code, then you probably do not fully understand it. Understanding creates long-term growth. Copying without understanding creates dependency. Use examples as learning tools, not as magic solutions. Mistake number 5, writing everything in one huge function. Many beginners create programs where all logic is placed inside a single function or file. The code becomes hundreds of lines long. After a few days, even the original author cannot understand it. Good programmers break problems into smaller pieces. Each function should perform one clear responsibility. For example, one function validates input. One function processes data. One function displays output. Small functions are easier to read, test, debug, and maintain. Divide large problems into smaller manageable pieces. Mistake number 6, not practicing enough. Watching tutorials feels productive. Reading articles feels productive. But programming is a practical skill. Imagine trying to learn swimming by only watching videos. Eventually, you must enter the water. Programming works the same way. After learning a concept, immediately write code. Create small projects. Solve exercises. Experiment with different solutions. The more you practice, the more natural programming becomes. Mistake number 7, fear of making mistakes. Some beginners avoid challenging tasks because they are afraid of failure. They only solve easy problems. They avoid projects that seem difficult. But growth happens when you struggle with problems slightly beyond your current skill level. Every bug teaches something. Every failed attempt teaches something. Every debugging session teaches something. The developers who improve fastest are usually the ones willing to make mistakes and learn from them. Mistake number 8, not debugging systematically. When a program fails, beginners often change many things at once. Then they have no idea which change fixed the issue. A better strategy is systematic debugging. Change one thing. Test. Observe results. Repeat. Think like a detective. Gather evidence. Form hypotheses. Test them. Good debugging is a structured investigation process. Mistake number 9. Neglecting code readability. Some beginners focus only on making code work. The program runs successfully, but the code is difficult to read. Remember that code is written for humans first and computers second. Use meaningful variable names. Add spacing where appropriate. Organize logic clearly. Avoid confusing shortcuts. 6 months later, readable code can save hours of frustration. Future you will thank present you. Mistake number 10. Comparing yourself to experienced developers. A beginner sees an expert writing code quickly and feels discouraged. What they do not see is the years of practice behind that skill. Every expert started as a beginner. Every senior developer once struggled with variables, loops, and syntax errors. Focus on your own progress. Compare yourself with who you were last month, not with someone who has 10 years of experience. Consistent improvement is what matters. Let's summarize the key lessons. Do not start coding before understanding the problem. Do not try to memorize everything. Read error messages carefully. Avoid copying code without understanding it. Break large programs into smaller functions. Practice regularly. Do not fear mistakes. Debug systematically. Write readable code. And never compare your beginning to someone else's middle. Programming is not about being perfect. Programming is about solving problems, learning continuously, and improving step by step. Every bug you fix makes you stronger. Every project you complete builds confidence. Every challenge teaches valuable lessons. Stay curious. Keep practicing. Keep building. And most importantly, keep learning. Thank you for listening.